So my roommate just moved out. And I have mixed feelings about it. Um, like, I know he's just a phone call away, a text away, blah, blah, blah. And he's not out of my life, but he's out of my house. And, so I've been having trouble sleeping. And there are times that I'm just like, well, I can't really get up and do anything because he's sleeping and I don't want to disturb him. So now, if it's 4 a.m. and I'm awake and I feel like cleaning the house, I can do that. If I feel like belting out some ballads, I can do that. And that's something I've been missing. But at the same time, like, there were times I was like, hey, I want to talk to somebody because I'm kind of like a cat. Like, you know where to find me. Like, while I was in a relationship with him and after it ended, I was mostly in my room. Like, that's where you'd find me, in my room. Sometimes I'd come into the living room and I'd sit on the couch. Or if I was watching the grandbabies, I was in the living room. That's where you found me. Like, I'm very much like a cat. When I stopped watching the grandbabies, you'd find me in my room, on my bed. That's where I was. If I wasn't sleeping, I was watching TV, on my phone, whatever. And there was a lot of times I would come out because I'd want someone to talk to. Much like a cat will come out of wherever they like to be and approach you. And they expect, a cat kind of expects you like, hey, I'm here, pet me. They want your attention when they seek you out. And a lot of times it's a bad time. It would be a bad time, or he didn't want to talk about what I wanted to talk about, or he'd say, hey, you don't let me speak. It's the Anna show. And I was like, oh, okay. Like, with rejection sensitive dysphoria and ADHD, like, a person shouldn't be afraid to call me out on the shit I do. Like, if it bothers you, let me know that it bothers you. Like, yes, it is going to trigger the rejection sensitive dysphoria. It will. But I don't like knowing that an interaction I'm having with somebody, they feel like they can't speak. Like, their input is not needed because it's the Anna show. So I get that, but a lot of times it'd be like, are you done yet? And it's like, oh, okay. I was trying to talk about something that excited me. I thought you were my friend. Well, now he won't be here. When I get excited about something. So even though I might have gotten a bad interaction, he was here. So, the move out happened pretty quick. And I kind of like things to happen quick, even though it messes with routine. But lately, I haven't really had a routine. And I've felt like I've been in a waiting room with him moving. So now I'm no longer in that particular waiting room. Like, okay, this part of things is taken care of. And I'm just going to be alone a lot. Because there really aren't any people that I can invite over. You know, I mean, my yeah, my middle kid and her fiance, I could invite them over, but they have jobs. And my daughter is typically tired when she gets off of work. Like, she doesn't want to come visit with me. You know, and I can't expect them to come over every day, and I can't say that I might not be annoyed about it sometimes, that like, okay, I've had enough of you. You know, because that's how it is with family. That you got friends and you've got family, and even with friends, there's so much of them that you want, and like myself, I tell people, or I have in the past when I've hung out with them, like, hey, you need to tell me when it's time for me to go, because I may not know. I may not catch it, because I might be having a really good time and you're like, well, I really want to go to sleep, or I've had enough of you for today, which is a totally, like, it will trigger my rejection sensitive dysphoria, that I'm not ready to leave, but you're ready for me to go. But at the same time, I don't want that person to go, well, I could invite her over, but man, she stays too long. You know, so I don't want somebody to be scared of, you know, saying, hey, like, even if, like, it's totally cool with me if they say, hey, you want to swing by, hang out, you know, till around 8 o'clock, and they've given me a timeline, like at 8 o'clock, and I'll watch the freaking clock. I mean, it does make me watch the clock. But at the same time, if I'm given a time, then I know that's the time I need to leave. That is the boundary. Like, I have trouble setting boundaries. I have trouble telling somebody, hey, you've been here a long time. Isn't it about time for you to go? No, I'll just sit there and deal with the fact that I want them to go, and I don't know how to tell them to go, because I don't want to hurt their feelings. Because, like, it's easy for me to respect another person's boundaries, for them to set them, and something I have to do in my future is set boundaries and stick to them, and basically, you know, be like, hey, here's the boundary, don't cross it, because I really don't want to have to enforce it. Like, I need to enforce it, but I would appreciate it if you would just respect it and not try to cross it. That's the fun stuff. But yeah, I know, like, I am my best company. Like, I can upset myself, but I don't absolutely upset myself. Like, I can also make myself laugh like crazy. I don't ever feel like, oh, I shouldn't have said that. Oh, I think I've offended somebody. No, when I'm by myself, you know, it's all good. But at the same time, it's like, I want friends. I want people. And, you know, even though a lot of my interactions with my roommate were not great interactions, there was another soul around, that if I was having a bad day, like if I was crying, he genuinely wanted to know why. So that's my life. Like, I'm happy and sad and confused. So I guess it's kind of a normal day in my life. Bye.